All right, let's talk about two powerful technologies that, and I mean this literally, shape the world we live in: CAD and BIM. Now, they might sound kind of similar, but trust me, they represent two totally different ways of thinking about design, and we're going to break it all down.
Everything from the phone you're holding to that huge skyscraper downtown. It all starts with a plan, a blueprint. But in today's digital world, those blueprints have evolved like you wouldn't believe. So let's pull back the curtain on the two digital titans behind it all.
First up, we've got to talk about the OG, the one that started the revolution. CAD is what took us from old-school drafting tables and rolls of paper into the computer age. So let's get a really clear picture of what CAD is all about. So at its core, CAD, that's computer-aided design, is all about drafting, but with digital superpowers. Think of it as the ultimate electronic pencil and ruler. Its main job? To help designers and engineers create incredibly precise 2D drawings and 3D models. It's all about the geometry. And because it is just so good at getting that geometry perfect, you see CAD everywhere. I mean, it's absolutely essential for designing a new car engine, laying out a complex highway system, or even creating the very device you might be watching this on right now. But what if you wanted your design to be more than just lines and shapes on a screen? What if it could actually be, well, intelligent? That's where the next big leap in design comes into play: BIM. See, BIM, Building Information Modeling, is a whole different animal. It's not just a tool, it's an entire process. And the key word here is information. A BIM model doesn't just show you a wall, it knows it's a wall. It knows what it's made of, how much it costs, even when it needs to be maintained. It's packed with data.
And all that intelligence is exactly why BIM is the undisputed king in the architecture, engineering, and construction sector, or what we call the AEC industry. It's purpose-built for the massive complexity of designing, building, and managing entire buildings and huge infrastructure projects.
Okay, so we've met our two contenders. Now it's time for the main event, the showdown. Let's put them side by side and you'll really see what sets them apart. First, let's talk about their core purpose. What are they for? Think of it this way. CAD is all about documentation. Its job is to produce a beautiful, detailed set of drawings. BIM, on the other hand, is all about management. It's a system for managing a massive database of information across the entire life of a project, from the very first sketch to its demolition maybe 50 years later. And that leads us straight to data. A CAD file is basically just geometry. It's lines, arcs, circles that show you what something looks like. A BIM model? It's a rich database that just happens to look like a building. It's the difference between having a picture of a door and having a virtual door that knows its own fire rating, its warranty info, and its price. And this, right here, is where BIM completely changes the game: collaboration. With CAD, you often have different teams: architects, engineers, electricians, working on their own separate files in their own little silos. With BIM, everybody, and I mean everybody, works together on one central shared model. If the architect moves a wall, the electrician sees it instantly. It's a single source of truth.
So what's the end result? The final outcome? Well, CAD gives you a set of drawings, a really good representation of the project. But BIM creates what we call a digital twin. And that's exactly what it sounds like: a dynamic virtual replica of the real-world building that you can use for simulations and management long after the construction crews have gone home.
Okay, so that's a lot of theory. But why does any of this actually matter to you? How does this work in the real world? Well, it all boils down to something simple: choosing the right tool for the job. So how do you pick? Honestly, it's pretty straightforward. If you're designing a very specific product, a single mechanical part, or anything that needs super detailed technical plans, CAD is your best friend. But if you're tackling a complex building, a whole construction project, or a massive piece of infrastructure, BIM's data-rich, collaborative approach is just the smarter way to go. But here's the real takeaway, the little plot twist. This isn't always an either-or battle. In the real world, most professionals use both of them together. They might use CAD to design a highly specific component, like an HVAC unit, and then import that detailed model into the larger BIM project. They're teammates, working together for the best results. So all this brings us to one final thought. As technology just keeps getting faster and smarter, the relationship between these two powerhouses is, of course, also going to change. And so I'll leave you with this question to chew on. As BIM gets more and more powerful, and as more people adopt it, do you think it's eventually going to replace CAD completely? Or will they always coexist, each one kind of ruling its own kingdom? It's definitely something for all of us in the design world to think about. Thanks for tuning in.